Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer. I've been practicing law for 25 years, immigration for 15. We have had 338 prior episodes of the Immigration Answers Show, making this episode number 339. We have offices in St. Louis, Missouri, our world headquarters, Washington, D.C., and San Diego, California. The waiting room, unbelievably, is already full, and we're not even a minute into the show. So, if you haven't already, you need to get on that texting list, 314-470-3300. Text the word show to that number, and you'll be the first in line when we open up the waiting room. I see my friend Rocio here. We're going to start with her in just a minute. But first, let me go ahead and encourage you to leave us a note. Let us know where you're watching from. We love to see where everybody's watching from. We love to see old friends. We love to hear success stories. We don't want this to just be a complaint session about USCIS, as much as we hate them. But yeah, the waiting room is now full. Holy cow. How about that? It's 1 minute and 30 seconds in. Hey, Aziz got his green card. How about that? And he's got a new picture for his background. Pretty sweet. Congrats, Aziz. Good job. Good job. Good job. That's great news. Happy for you. We love the good news. Kapil's here. Good to see Kapil. And Rocio, of course, is here. What great news. Aziz, that's great. Aziz is here every day. So we're very happy for him. Rocio, what you got for me?
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
How is your Ramadan going?
Good. Today's day 9. Day 9. I was just looking at the old Ramadan calendar to see how far down. So tomorrow will be like a third done. So not too bad. Not too bad.
Nice. You know who is not here? Shabazz is not here. I miss
Oh, he
Shabazz.
comes later. He doesn't. He waits till the 40-minute mark to roll, and he's a busy guy, you know.
Okay. I have three quick questions. I don't want to take much of your time.
Okie doke.
Remember, I just filed for my N400. I did it online
Yeah.
On January the 31st. That wasn't the day my application was received.
Okay.
So and it's under the 3-year rule. So that means that I had to upload evidence about the bona fide of our relationship, which I did. In total, I have 68 documents uploaded with bank statements, with, utility bills. But my question is, if I upload evidence I did after I filed, I kept like updating the evidence with mainly just utility bills because those come in monthly. But I wonder if that resets the clock.
No.
Okay.
No, but I would stop doing it. If you want to bring extra evidence to your naturalization interview, bring it. Don't offer it. But if they ask for it, give it to them. I'm sure they feel like you've given them plenty.
Okay.
But I would not keep uploading stuff on something you know you're going to have an interview on.
Right, because and that brings my second question. My thinking for the N400, of course, aside from the form that you have to fill out, was kind of like a continuation of the 751. So I know that I know that I have to bring something to the interview, like printed, like documents, but I don't want to print 66 documents. So
Well, don't bring anything that you submitted online. Only bring updated stuff. So
okay.
So stop now uploading stuff, and then just bring a couple extra things, and then point out to them that you uploaded 68 things so far.
Okay. What about the IRS transcripts? They are uploaded, but should I also take a physical? I feel that transcripts probably are important to bring.
If the transcripts, yeah, those are short. But today, an officer said to my wife, "Why do you guys?" Apparently, our team has been sending in the whole tax returns. Do not do that. So, if you want to bring the tax transcripts, that's fine. I don't think they're going to get too worked up about it. But go ahead.
No, just the IRS, like the tax return transcript. So I'm not bringing the whole tax return.
Good.
And the third question is that there are 2 cases from Columbus that I know from Visa Journey and from Facebook groups that applied around the same date that I did. One is under the 5-year rule. The other is under the 3-year rule with a pending 751. So is it safe to say that my interview will be pretty soon or no?
Well, it depends on the 751.
Okay. Yeah. Because the 751, the last update that I had was exactly a year ago saying that the fingerprints were taken. And chatting with Emma is absolutely like, they don't tell me anything. I feel My 751 is kind of like lost in a black hole of whatever.
Yep.
So
I think you're just chilling. You did everything right. You're in good position. You're ready to go.
yeah, should I bring also, because I made a copy of the 751 before sending it. I have like a copy, like a physical copy, just to keep for my record. Should I bring that to the interview or no?
I would.
Okay. Oh, I gotta organize it because I just put it on a paper bag and I forgot about it, and now I have to like organize it and put it in a binder. Okay, I think that those were all my questions. So maybe
Thanks
next
for
week I'll come back to you and say, hey, I have an
that'd be
interview.
great. Let us know.
Yep. Thank you.
See ya. Okay, bye-bye. All right, that's our friend Rocio. She's here all the time. Carol's here too. Hi, Carol. You're on mute. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No worries.
You
How are you?
good, and you? Okay, so I have a question from a friend of mine. So my question is the next. So she was married with a U.S. citizen, but they had a lot of issues in the marriage. She was subject by extreme cruelty, like mentally abuse and stuff like
Mm,
that.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and he withdrew the case while they were separated. He withdrew the case because once they separated, my friend started hanging out again with her friends because she was not really allowed to while she was in the marriage because of the control and stuff like that. And while they were separating, as I said, she was hanging out with her friends and stuff like that. And one day, like, the husband found out that she was hanging out with her friends, like even though it was like in public places like dog parks and stuff like that, just something like really simple. And because of this, he withdrew the case, saying that she was like having an affair with one of their friends.
Okay.
And to USCIS, he mentioned the name of the friend and stuff like that. But now, like, my friend is sitting with this friend. He is in the Air Force. Has been serving 10 years in the Air Force, and but she applied for VAWA because of all the issues that she had.
Okay.
She had proof and stuff like that. She has evidence. Yeah, she applied for VAWA, but now she applied for VAWA in the last month, and she got the receipts. And since she's sitting with this person, he's like I said, he is in the Air Force, and now like he is wondering if eventually, like maybe, I think she said maybe like 10 months or something like that, if he wants to marry her. I know that, I think she said that this cancel VAWA. I think that like if she marries, that cancel VAWA. But the main concern is if she married this person, and this person that is a US citizen as well, if this person applied for her for a judgment of status, if how problematic that will be, since his name was put in this letter saying that she was having an affair with this guy.
Well, was she having an affair with the guy or no?
No, it was just
Yeah.
friend.
And how did she enter the United States?
With a J1 visa.
Not on a K1.
No, with a J1, and it wasn't subject to the 2-year rule.
I think that letting the 360 play itself out for a while, and then if she decides to get married for love and not for immigration purposes, I think that would cancel out the 360, but it's going to be faster route to a green card. And the fact that the abusive ex-husband named the now new husband as someone she was having an affair with. I mean, one, I think that does make it seem as if she was having an affair, even if she wasn't. The fact that they are now married, I think that hurts that argument, but I don't think it matters. I think she can still get her green card based on her marriage to the new U.S. citizen.
Oh yeah, because we have seen some of your videos,
Mm-hmm.
like in one of your videos that you were talking about, like how they can affect getting a green card and stuff like that because they scrutinize the first marriage.
Yeah. And so, one question is, how much marital evidence did she have for the first case? Did her husband control everything and keep everything and not submit a lot? I mean, that's
No, so the oh sorry. So the thing here is like he sent a letter at the beginning of December, and literally a week after, sadly, the I-130 was approved. So the consent of a bona fide marriage was approved.
Hmm.
So
So
yeah,
that helps. So that's actually good. That'll help later on.
yeah. So it wasn't like, and well, yeah, because of the letter, it was automatically revoked. That approved.
Yeah, but they're gonna have a hard time saying that her first marriage was fake if they already ruled that it was real.
Okay. Yeah, and for example, another question is like right now that she has the I-360 pending, how problematic will be if she move in with this guy, like at some point?
No rule against it.
Oh, okay.
You know, one thing she should do is she should request a copy of her file through the Freedom of Information Act. She might find some good stuff in there about what her abusive ex-husband tried to pull.
Okay. Yeah, because like the concern was like, also, are they gonna, like, for example, if she tries to go and file with this person. So yeah, she was planning, like, she was like trying to see if it would be a good idea or not to marry this person eventually, because like I said, he's in the military, so you know that they move a lot and stuff like that, so it'll be easier for.
It sounds like this person is worried that the ex-husband said bad things about her with this new person. I don't think if she's got the goods on the abuse, if she can prove that this guy was abusive, then I don't think USCIS is going to give a crap what he says about anything. So I don't think it sounds to me like you're saying that she's thinking, I can't marry this person because my abusive ex-husband said bad things about this military person.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's BS, and I don't think she needs to worry about that. She's gonna have a hard time proving up everything. It's a complicated immigration case. The officers are gonna scratch their heads. She should have a lawyer when she marries military man, but she should not feel like she can't live her life because of the abusive ex-husband. Anytime, if I were in that interview, anytime the officer tried to make a stink about the things the bad husband said, which I don't think they would even do, but even if they got close to it, I would say, why are you asking questions about someone who we've demonstrated is an abusive asshole? You shouldn't believe anything that they said, and you should do everything you can to help this lady start her life with her new husband.
Yeah, will USAS try to contact their old husband, because like
Always. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends. If there's a VAWA claim out there, they probably won't.
if it's a what?
If there's a VAWA claim that's been filed against him, they probably won't, because they probably won't put much weight in whatever it is he says, if she's got the goods on the abuse.
Yeah, so if she decides to, sorry for keep going, if she decides to go eventually with this person, will she have to prove, will she have to send stuff related to the abuse with the first person, or?
Well, I don't know if she'll have to send it, but she'll want to bring it to her interview. They should have the 360 there, but she's going to want, just like I do with everybody on the show. When did you come to America? What immigration visa, what non-immigrant visa did you have? What immigration benefits have you applied for? What happened to your first case? What happened to your VAWA case? What happened to, tell me about this marriage now. They're going to go through all of it just like I do.
Okay. And if like at some point she decides to go with this, if she wants to hire you as a lawyer, can you tell me here, like, how much will you charge for that? Or
Well, tomorrow our fees are going up. So tomorrow it's $5,200. So it'll be, by the time, if she's going to wait a year, we're going to start raising our fees every quarter, probably $200 or $300 a month. So it'll be somewhere between $5,500 and $6,000 by then.
you said 5,500
Yep.
or 6,000? Okay, that's not too bad, I think, compared with other lawyers. Okay,
It's a complicated case. Yep. Thanks, Carol.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Brett's here. Hi, Brett.
Hello there. How are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'll be as quick as I can be. My wife and I are Canadian. My wife is the petitioner and I'm dependent. We haven't approved, or my wife hasn't approved NIW. So our 485 is pending.
Yep.
We were in Florida and we moved to Tennessee a year ago.
Okay.
And this is like a surprise that I wasn't expecting, and I had researched it. And information on the state's website is kind of goofy, but I hold a CDL. So I've had a CDL since 2004, first in Ontario, then New York State, and then in Florida. The state of Tennessee does not allow you to have a CDL with an EAD, only a green card. Now, what's terrible on their website is that they present the information for real ID. So you go to their website, you look up commercial driver's license. It shows all of the information that looks like Florida because I have real ID in Florida. And it lists EAD as an acceptable document.
On the Tennessee website.
On the Tennessee website, yep. So I go into TDOT with all of my information to do a transfer, and they are like, we don't know what's wrong, but the system won't let it go through. So they had to consult and call and yada yada, and it comes back and they're like, oh, we only accept green cards, we don't accept EAD. And I'm like, why does it say that on your website? And I contacted the governor's office and I went to our state and what have you. So I'm in a real jam because I still have a Florida driver's license. This is CDL. I'm domiciled in Florida, but my license is Florida. I'm domiciled in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to give.
You're worried about the green card interview?
No, I need the green card to keep my license because it's going to expire and I'm not going to have any way to renew it now. And once the CDL goes away, and I need it for work. So my question is, it expires in, what's this, March, April, in the summer, I believe, September, either August or September.
When did you file the 485?
May the 2nd, 2021.
And did they just retrogress when the visa bulletin came out in April?
That I don't know. I'm Canadian, so I think our date is current.
Yeah, I can check.
For an NIW, I believe that Canadians don't, like, everything is current.
Yeah, there was a bunch of retrogression in April. It's going to take me a minute to pull it up.
So our case was transferred from Nebraska to the National Benefits Center, but of course, who knows? I know that we're going to get an RFE for medicals, and I believe we're going to get an RFE for birth certificates.
Why?
We only had, Canada used to issue wallet size birth certificates.
The short form.
Yeah, and that's all that we had. And then through myself, I went to the travel.gov website and I looked at the documents and I'm like, oh, we sent the wrong birth certificates.
We've gotten RFEs for that before. So yeah, you're going to get an RFE for that for sure. That's going to slow you down. So are you saying that the 485 has been on file for almost 2 years?
Yeah, it was filed May the 2nd. We did concurrent, so it was filed May the 2nd, 2021. I don't know whether to, like, an expedite request means that I would have to claim, like, financial hardship.
You might want to sue.
I don't know.
You might want to sue them for delay.
Well, and we sued them to get our EADs. Like, I'm pretty sue happy. Well, we didn't. We joined that class action lawsuit for the EAD, and it was very successful. And I was the only dependent in it, and they actually named me. The lawyers actually talked about me because they approved everyone's EAD but mine. So then the lawyers went back to USCIS and they were like, why did you leave him out? And they were like, he's the dependent and not the primary. And they were like, we want everybody on the law. Like, we want everybody. And then I got mine like a month later.
So you're current. The date right now is June or July of 2022. So you're current on that. So I would seriously consider suing them because I think that's your best bet of getting your green card before your Florida driver's license expires.
Right. And what does that cost generally?
Yeah, it costs today. Today it costs $4,600. Tomorrow it costs $4,800, and then for we add $500.
So my wife would have to actually be suing, and I'm tagged on as the.
You both would sue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I basically have to weigh out I can't lose my license. It's
that's going to take, a lawsuit's going to take at least 60 to 75 days, at least, maybe 90, right? So chop chop, because your driver's license is TikToking.
Why would Tennessee do this? I think just because. Well, I guess it gets into like state. You know what's funny is TDOT.
Let's guess why.
Well,
guess why? Because it's a red
state.
It's a red state, and they want to protect American truck drivers. That's why.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is the governor is trying to pass a bill to lower the. It's 21 right now to get a CLD, but they want to lower it to 18 because they're so hard up for drivers. But they want to take mine. Well, they won't give me one.
I used to have a CDL. I drove a school bus when I was in college. I had a CDL.
Oh, there you go.
But you know how to get a hold of me. If you want to sue, just send me an email, buddy.
Yeah, and one quick question: if we get our green cards, when you apply for citizenship, who can apply first, or can either of you apply for citizenship, or is it like in tandem?
Well, you'll both receive green cards. Presumably, they'll have the same start date. They might not have the same start date, but whoever hits their 5 years first can apply for citizenship. If you get them on the same day, you can apply on the same day. You don't need, for citizenship, once you have your green card, you won't need each other to get any.
Okay.
Get citizenship.
My wife has hangups on applying for U.S. citizenship, but it's only being proud to the Maple Leaf.
Well, you know, I always tell the story. I had a professor who was from Britain, and I had gotten him his employment-based green card. We filed for his citizenship, and the forms are all ready. It was they to sign. This is back when we did signing in person. He's sitting in my office and he reads the last part of the form and he says, "Oh, Jim, I don't think I can do this." I said, "Why?" He said, "I can't give up my allegiance to the Queen." So, yeah. So I've heard different things before. So yeah,
we went to a naturalization, and she did hear the oath that people take, and she got wound up. But yeah. I've got 5 years to work on her.
All right, great. Thanks, bud.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Brett. See ya. All right. Let's see who's next. Sarthak is next. Hi, Sarthak. You're on mute, buddy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. So my question was related to basically, I am U.S. citizen and my fiance she is a permanent resident of Canada, living in Canada, and a citizen of India. Now she do have a U.S. visitor visa. She has visited U.S. before. Okay. And she was planning to visit USA again in the upcoming months. And I was wondering if she comes here and everything works out, and if we end up getting married, does that put any, like, is it possible to do so, or
so here's how I explain it, and here's how you can think about it. If Sarthak is here in the United States and Sarthak's like, man, I can't wait for her to come. When she gets here, I'm gonna have my ring. I'm gonna ask her to marry me, and we're gonna get married. If Sarthak, if that's your intention, totally okay. But if it's her intention to come here and get married and apply for a green card, then we get in trouble. So this all comes down to her intent, whether or not she has immigrant intent. So if she's surprised by Sarthak's marriage proposal when she gets here, that's a whole lot better. So as long as, if she enters on the visit visa, as long as she's honest, why are you coming I'm coming to visit family and my friend Sarthak.
Fiance, yeah.
My fiance, as long as she's honest, if she gets married after 60 days and you apply for her, everything should be okay.
Got you. And another question. So I guess that would be like, once we get married, if I file for her, it would be there would be like adjustment of status, or would she? Okay. Yep. And during that, can she leave the country or no?
So here's what'll happen. So let's just say she comes on July 1st. And then she gets married on my birthday, September 13th. And because you guys are romantic that way. And so she gets married, and then you guys file on October 1st. Now, when you file, you're going to file a bunch of forms. You're going to file the I-130, which is me, Sarthak. I'm a U.S. citizen. I want to sponsor my wife now, for a green card. she's going to sign and fill out an I-130A. It's all background information about her. Then you're going to do the 485, which is the adjustment of status application. Then the I-765, so she gets a work card. That's her proof of status until she gets her green card. And then the most important to the question you just asked me is the I-131. So that's for advanced parole. Once she comes to America and gets married, then she's sort of stuck here till she gets that advanced parole. So in the old days, advanced parole took 2 or 3 months to get approved. Now it takes 6 or 7 months. So again, with my scenario, you get married on September 13th, you file on September 30th, you file for advanced parole on September 30th. You're talking 6 months from then for her to get the permission to leave, to go back home to Canada or to go to Mexico or anywhere else. So there's a good long chunk. I always call this person bubble girl or bubble boy because they're wrapped in bubble wrap and they're up on the shelf. They can't really do anything. They can't work. They can't leave the United States. They're sort of stuck here, but we always apply for it. It's important. I have videos on advanced parole. If you just look on the channel for advanced parole, you'll see more than you ever want to know about advanced parole.
Okay, but there is no such thing as like, because I've heard that like it is considered that if someone comes from on a visitor visa and then they end up marrying like U.S. citizen within like some, let's say, couple of weeks or under 60 days, it is seen by USCIS as not a right intent.
It's called, yeah, and you can get hit with a misrepresentation charge. So now there's things that would help her. One is we're not going to let her get married before 60 days. But even if she did, she's had a visa before, she's come before and left, come and left, come and left. So that helps. Where people really get in trouble is they finally get that visit visa to the United States. They rush to the United States. They get married 3 days after they arrived, and then they apply for a green card right away. Now, we've had that case. We've gotten that case approved, but that makes things a whole lot harder. And you don't want to have to deal with the misrepresentation because then you have to get a waiver and it's a big old ordeal.
Got it. And one last question. So basically, the reason I was asking is we were planning to have like a back in India in the middle of like early January. So I was wondering if we end up doing processing everything, and would it be better to like apply it after that, just for the reason that she cannot leave the country, she cannot leave the United States.
So your computer shorted out for a minute. You said you want to do a ceremony in India. Is that what you said?
If we are planning to do a ceremony in India in like January.
So you'd get married here in the United States first or no?
Get married here, yeah. Yep.
So I don't like that plan so much. I'd rather you get married in India later. I'd rather you get married at the courthouse now, get all the immigration stuff, get permission to leave the United States, then make plans for India, because there's no guarantee you're going to be able to get advanced parole for her by January.
Oh, okay.
And then the other problem is if she comes now on a visit visa, gets married, and you wait until you go back to India, and then you try to come back to the United States, then she's the spouse of a U.S. citizen, and they might not let her in.
Okay. Got it. It makes sense. Thank you so much. Appreciate your.
See you, buddy.
Yep. See you. Bye.
All right, bye. Sam is here. What do you say, Sam?
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing some workout.
Nice.
It's a fasting month now. We are fasting.
We are indeed. I do my exercise early in the morning. I can't do it late like you.
I mean, I just like they said, because we cannot drink water or something. It's good to do it like right before, like an hour earlier to break in the fast.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. So my question is, actually, I would like to share like my case too, and with all people here. And also, I have a question. So, fortunately, I just got my work permit, and they sent me the card, and then like for the I-130 through my spouse, it was saying like 3 months estimated, and now like it turned to be like 6 months. And then one other thing is they sent me the I-693 letter, and like my I-45 case required that form and blah blah blah, and just do that. But they said it was like capitalized. Do not send any documents because it might relay interview if there is an interview.
You're going to get another letter asking you. They're going to send you a request for evidence. That's what we've been seeing. That they send the letter,
Okay.
say this is a courtesy notice. Then a week later, they send them the RFE. And I'm glad you brought this up because I meant to announce this at the top of the show. USCIS announced today that they're not going to go with this 60-day BS about the expiring of medical results. It's going to be it's going to be valid for 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, that's
They
why.
just
2 years. Yeah.
they just announced.
So they sent
Yep.
me that letter, and I did the medical form, and I have it with me because they
So
said
you're
do
good to
not
go.
send it.
Now you're just waiting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So usually, like from your experience, like usually, like when like the interview, they might call me for the interview. Or
Where do you live?
I live in Virginia.
When did you file?
I filed in September 2022.
So your work card took 7 months, 6 months,
Oh, yeah, almost since then.
6 months.
I
Yeah.
got the work permit on March, and the letter like a week after I got the letter.
I mean, everybody in the comments will say better than me than I can as far as the Virginia processing times. But I just did have a green card interview in Virginia a couple months ago, and it was closer to a year.
A year after the notice, the 693.
A year after, no, a year after the filing date.
Oh, okay.
It was right about a year.
Yeah. One of
So you're probably more than halfway there.
I hope so. Yeah. One of your staff members, they said like they might waive your interview, and I said,
They
oh, that
might.
would be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
You might get a request for evidence, even though you got the don't send in your medical, then you might get the hey, send us your medical.
okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks for the update, SMC, buddy.
Of course, thank you.
Have a good workout. All right. Hello, Jim the best.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so I'm trying to like figure out would this make me inadmissible? Um, so I had a open container of alcohol and consumption of alcohol back in 2018, but I was not convicted. It was not like anything as in like driving term, but I was like at the boardwalk. Um, and I had a fake ID. Now, mind you, I never used that fake ID to like work or anything, but I just got it just to buy like just to purchase like alcohol and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But it was all expunged, and I did a diversion program. So when I did research on on that for immigration terms, they're saying that if you did diversion program, it doesn't count as moral turpitude. So now, could that make me inadmissible?
No,
I
I
mean,
don't think so. I mean, you're talking about a municipal charge, right? Not even a state
yeah,
charge.
and I'm not even state charge, but just inadmissible for
I don't.
immigration terms.
I think I don't. Well, number one, usually when you get a diversion, it still can be a conviction. So I don't put much stock in that. But the bigger thing is that this is not a big deal. The charge that you had was not a big deal, so it's not going to make you inadmissible.
Okay, because and the other part now is my attorney. Now this is where I got confused at. I think we talked about the I-340 about the obligator has to bring the alien. Now my attorney told me that the biggest fear with not going with an attorney is that like he feared that I could be detained, and I'm thinking like, is he trying to make the money or he's just
So
warning me?
now let's back up. So where are you
Uh-huh.
from?
I'm in Maryland. I'm from
And,
Turks and Caicos.
and when did you come to the United States?
I came in the United States in 2015 on a visa waiver.
Okay, visa waiver. I'm not a big fan of applying for adjustment on. So you're a visa waiver, and you overstayed, and then you
Yep.
got married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes. In 2018, I got married into a United States citizen in
And
2018.
when did you file for your green card?
I filed it in 2019.
And it's still pending?
I mean, I was in removal proceeding. I got it terminated. So my removal proceeding was going on, and then the COVID came, and then all this stuff kind of backed up, and then
So
my I-130 is approved. I didn't have no interview yet. I never had an interview, and they approved the I-130, and then
So I would say you should have a lawyer at your interview, not because you're going to get detained. I don't think that's going to happen, but more so because you're not going to be detained. You're already in removal.
no,
More
I'm not in
so,
removal no more.
but you were. So more
Yeah.
so, I think just because it's a confusing history and you want to be able to prepare properly, I would bring a lawyer to the interview, but I wouldn't be worried that I'm going to get detained.
Okay, so now what if I don't go with an attorney? Because this attorney is charging like $350 an hour. So I'm like,
That's
can
not
I
bad.
save money? Yeah. So can I save money without going to without an attorney?
Of course, you can save money without going with an attorney, but that doesn't mean you should not go with an attorney. You should go with an attorney.
So it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
They
now
don't cause as much shit when you have a lawyer. They just don't.
gotcha. Now for the I-485 now, like so when it comes to like transferring the EOIR I-485, like does InfoPass kind of helps with them following up, or should I file a new I-485? Because like with following up with everybody filing a new I-485, like this thing being approved like within 90 days, even 126 days
Well, yours
for
won't.
new applicants.
Yours won't because your history is too complicated. But so how long ago did the judge terminate proceedings?
November.
And was
And
the 40
and the
was the 45 filed originally in the immigration court?
yes.
And it hasn't been transferred over yet.
Well, my attorney contacted the chief consul, and the chief consul said that it's at the local field office. But when I contact USCIS representative, they say it's at Texas Service Center. So it's like I'm like in a confusion loop.
So that's a lawsuit to me.
Really? So all the time that has been pending for 1,924 days, that is still going to be considered a time pending with USCIS as well, right?
Well, I think I would frame things if I were going to do a lawsuit. I'd frame things a little differently. I'd be saying this
Uh-huh.
poor brother's been waiting for his green card for 1,925 days. I wouldn't get too fine in the details about. The problem is your case is sitting somewhere. Nobody knows where it is. Is it at the Texas Service Center? Is it at the field office? Is it still at the EOIR? Nobody knows, and nobody's going to be working on it. So either file a new 45, which I wouldn't do because I don't want to lose the benefit of the 1,925 days you've been waiting.
Right. But then when I went to the InfoPass on the 23rd of this month, he told me that he will send a request for evidence for my medical, and like
That's
you
just
know,
BS. That's BS. If your file's not even there, the things that people say at the InfoPass window, I could write a book about all the bullshit that's been peddled at InfoPass appointments. They just say whatever they say whatever they know how to say, whatever the last thing is that they said, whatever they think will make you go away as fast as possible. That's what happens at InfoPass. I'm not saying that they're lying or that they're mean or that they're trying to be tricky. I'm just saying they want to
right,
get you out of there as fast as they can.
right, because he looked like he was confused. He even asked the lady next to him, say, "Hey,
Right.
do you know what is this and that?" And I'm like,
Oh yeah, they'll
you know,
send you an RFE for the medical because that's what they're telling everybody.
so what is the strategy that I could make this, go further, or
Yeah.
should I file a new one?
I would be very reluctant to give up my 1,925 days of waiting. I would sue them on a 45. If you have that receipt notice, which you do, that 45 has been pending a really long time. I would sue
Right.
them and say, I can't get any answers. Somebody get me my damn green card interview.
Gosh, yo. And then I received a email saying something about I should get a response within 60 days.
And Santa Claus is going to come down your chimney too on December 25th.
Wow.
It's all BS.
So not even my advanced parole going to be approved when I filed it in January with the Texas Service Center. All this is going to be just sitting there.
They don't know where your file is.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, so when you say sue, file a mandamus or just fully sue them?
A mandamus.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. See ya. Good luck.
See ya.
All right. Abdul's been waiting a long time. Hi, Abdul.
Hey, Jim. How are you today?
Good. What's up?
So, the 2 days ago, you advised me to contact USCIS about my work authorization.
Okay.
So I did, and they created a ticket. And this morning they reached out to me through email asking for evidence. So I just wanted to know what you advise for
Whatever
evidence.
you got, whatever evidence of hardship you got, you give it to them. You got to give them a timeline. You got to give them documentation. You got to show your work, your paycheck, your pay stubs, all the reasons why you need to get this thing approved right away.
Okay. Would you also advise me to write a letter that explains everything?
With a timeline. Timeline's the most important thing.
Okay. All right. So they send me a number to fax it to. So I believe you would want me to do that ASAP, right?
But I'd rather you take the weekend and do it very thoroughly. No one's going to look at jack squat till Monday. So take your time, do it upright, and send it in.
Okay. So every single piece of evidence I can think of.
Whatever you got. Yep.
Health insurance, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bank accounts.
Whatever's relevant to your request to speed the case up. Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye, Abdul. See you, buddy. All right. Fasting's up next. What's up, Fasting?
Hello, Jim. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm great. Yeah. How are you doing?
Good. I had a question regarding. I'll give you a quick background about my question, and then I'll ask my question. 2015, my family and I moved here in America. We entered on immigrant visas, green cards, I-551s, and since 2015, everybody has lived together. Like family has lived together. My mother became a citizen around June 2022, and at the time my mother became a citizen, my sister was a minor. As such, my mom filed an N6.
How old was she?
At the time my mom became a citizen?
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
My mom then, a month after she became a citizen, she applied for an N600 from my sister.
Yeah.
And ever since we've been waiting, the case was received, the biometrics appointment was waived. It said that you don't need biometrics regarding my sister.
When did you file the N600?
Huh?
What's the receipt date on the N600?
December 5.
Of what year?
Last year, 2022.
Okay, so what's the question?
My question is that I believe that my sister became a citizen the moment my mother became a citizen.
Correct.
And there is something that kind of a mistake, a foolish mistake that my sister made about 10 days ago, where a couple of guys from the government, the state government, came to her school to recruit people to vote because she's a high school senior, and then she registered to vote. Yeah. But the thing is that she doesn't have an N600 certificate. She still has a green card on her hands.
Yep.
Did she commit a crime? Is it like a federal crime that she did?
Not if she's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but as far as I'm 100% convinced that she's a U.S. citizen. But when she goes to the interview, will the USCIS say the FBI found out that you registered to vote while you still had a green card?
Oh, have you guys all been worried about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you don't need to worry. There's no interview for an N600 in most cases. It's just the ceremony where you pick up your certificate.
And pledge the allegiance, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so when the USCIS verifies and scrutinizes her case, the voting thing will not come up.
You're not asking me the right question. The right question is, should she go back to the agency that recruited her to register to vote and recant it? In other words, to say, I want to cancel my registration as a voter. If you're 100% sure that she was under 18 when mom naturalized, then I think that might be overkill. I think that we could take the position just as you did. So sometimes they try to. This does not have anything to do with your sister's case. So when I use this word, don't freak out. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes they try to deport people who are U.S. citizens because they became citizens by operation of law because their mother naturalized before they turned 18, but nobody ever went and got them a U.S. passport or filed an N-600. And in the system, it shows them as being green card holders, right? And they commit some kind of crime. And like that's an immigration lawyer's dream, is to find a citizen in deportation, right? Like we've come across it during consults, but not when it was an actual client of ours, right? So I think your sister's fine. I think everybody should relax. I think we should let the N-600 work itself out. I think if it's going to make everybody feel better, you could go and withdraw the registration to vote. But if she was under 18 when mom naturalized and she had a green card and she was in mom's custody, then she should be a citizen by operation of law.
Correct. Well, she was in the custody of my mom and my dad. This because like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just in case the worst case scenario, in case the N-600 gets denied, can we contact you within a day so we can reopen to go to the judge? Because
Sure.
I 100% believe that she is a citizen. Like 100% believe like she, dependent on my mom, taxes.
Yeah.
Is everything is filed.
She entered as a green card. She entered on an immigrant visa. She's had her green card the whole time. She hasn't violated the terms of her green card. None of that stuff.
Correct.
Yep. I think you're good. N-600s are funny. You can't file a second N-600. You can't appeal a denied N-600. The only thing you can do is ask USCIS to reopen it. What field office would it be?
It would be Manhattan, New York City.
Yeah, so that would be sort of a headache. But yeah, I think you're fine. I think everybody should stop worrying, and I hope everybody wasn't too hard on your sister.
Now that's a little bit too late.
Well, tell everybody to chill out and leave her alone and let her enjoy her Ramadan.
Okay.
She's gonna be fine.
Thank you, Jim.
But
thank you.
Do tell her. I think everybody knows this, but I wouldn't vote until she gets that N-600.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna recant it as fast as we can. It doesn't matter. Like,
I don't know if I want you to recant it though.
Because then it would look
why.
like it would look like as if you did.
Yeah, I think it weakens the position that she is a U.S. citizen. But I understand the sentiment and being scared, and obviously this is just me talking on the phone. I haven't looked at anybody's documents, but I think that might be overkill.
Okay, so like your mild advice would be to just leave it alone until the N-600.
Hold my breath and let the N-600 work itself out. Yep. They're supposed to decide N-600s in 6 months. They don't, but they're supposed to. Here in St. Louis, it's pretty close. Manhattan's probably a little bit busier, so it's probably going to take a whole year.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jim. God bless you.
All right. Well, I hope no one was too hard on the old sister. Reasonable mistake, and she's probably a U.S. citizen. Nike's here. Nike.
Damn.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Talking to you.
So I got a question about my spousal visa with my Nigerian husband.
Yeah.
So it ended up getting sent back to USCIS.
Interesting.
We transferred to Cameroon because Nigeria, it had the big backlog.
Yeah. Wait, so let's hold on. Let's back up. So you're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, yes, sir.
You can call me ma'am. My sister calls me girl. I mean, my daughter calls me girl because that's what she says to all of her friends. Okay, so you're a U.S. citizen. How'd you meet your spouse?
So dating online, Tinder.
Okay.
Usual thing.
And you went over to Nigeria and got married?
Yes, on the first visit.
I'm always, I'm thumbs down on that one. Okay. So has he ever been married before?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Has he ever told the U.S. Embassy that he was married before?
No. He hasn't applied for any visitor visas or nothing.
Are you sure?
Yes. I think it was about my taxes. I failed to tell him about my taxes. I had two dependents.
So hold on. Let's back up. So you filed the I-130. When did you file the I-130?
May of 2021.
And how long did it take for USCIS to approve it?
9 months. It was February 2022.
Then you go to the National Visa Center, and how long did it take for you to get documentarily qualified?
2 months. So
Nice. And did you have a co-sponsor, or was it just you?
no, I'm a registered nurse, so I didn't need that, thankfully.
So what's the problem with your taxes?
I had dependents that I had way before I even got married to my husband, and
You mean kids?
it was a step brother, my adopted step brother, is
So
on there. That he's disabled, he has autism, so I take care of him.
that's nice of you. And you being a nurse probably helps with that. Okay, so 2 months to get documentary qualified. When did he have his interview?
He had the first one January 11th, 2023.
In Nigeria or in Cameroon?
Cameroon.
Okay, so tell me what happens when he goes to the interview.
So he gets there, and he goes, and she says, what does your wife do? And
Nurse.
then he says she's a nurse. Then she started looking, scrambling over papers, and she was like, does she have kids? And he was like, no, she doesn't have children. And she asked it again, and he reworded it and said, no, she doesn't have biological children. And we had the information in our evidence, but she never did ask for any paper. She just went straight to saying that I had children, and dependents mean children to my husband. And that was the interview was over with.
And so he knows you have a brother.
Yes.
And he knows you take care of your brother.
Yes.
How old is your brother?
He's 4.
Oh, he's 4, so he's little.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you think that's it? You think that's what the officer got hung up on?
Yes. Yes, because she didn't ask anything else about our relationship or anything. It was just over after the dependents, because he said she started shaking her head and typing in the computer.
Yeah. Okay. So now it's on its way back to USCIS, and they're gonna send you a notice of intent to revoke the I-130.
Okay. Is it any so I also only visited one more time in 2021, and I'm just wanting to make sure that it's not going to be complicated, because I had bought a house, and then I got a new job in between 2021 and 2022, and then I just had surgery this year in 2023 in February. So I don't even know when I'm going to be able to visit. So I'm just wondering, since the timeline is long, sending the case back to USCIS, would that complicate us trying to get it reaffirmed?
I think that when did you get notice that it's getting sent back to USCIS?
She when we on the March 1st of 2023, we had the follow-up interview, and she gave him another 22-1G with saying it was getting revoked, said that she didn't have enough information.
Okay, so as of right now, it's still at state, waiting to get sent back to USCIS. I mean,
yes,
that process itself takes like 6 months.
Yeah, and that's what I'm scared of. I'm just scared it's going to complicate, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to visit again, since I used up my PTO for my hernia surgery.
Did you get the hernia because of work?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, picking up heavy people.
You should. No, I'm saying that you should make that's a workers' comp claim. That should be workers' comp. That shouldn't be your PTO. You should.
Yeah, I didn't know
You
until
you should talk to a workers' comp lawyer where you live. Where do you live?
Arkansas.
Yeah, I think I know one. But anyway, putting that to the side, I think it would be beneficial when we try to reaffirm the I-130 for you to visit. But if you don't, it's not a deal breaker. Usually, here's my experience. USCIS, if you know what you're doing and are smart, USCIS reaffirms, I'd say 85% of the time, unless the times where USCIS does not reaffirm is when there's something fundamentally defective with the I-130. In other words, somebody was married twice at the same time, their divorce never went through, those kinds of things, right? So on something like this, where the officer is just making logical jumps and saying, I caught him, he didn't know about her kid on the tax return, or I caught her, she's lying about listing some kids that aren't even really hers on her taxes, so USCIS isn't going to be caught up on this at all. They're going to send it right on back, but it still might take 6 months.
Okay.
That's sending it right back. Because it's going to take 6 or 8 weeks to get to them. Then they're going to send you an RFE, or a notice of intent to revoke. and then you're going to have to respond to it. So lots of little moving parts.
Okay.
And then the hard part's going to be at the embassy. The hard part at the embassy is going to be getting him ready to explain, and I would say in writing and out loud, everything that happened, so that we can sort of make it out to be this crazy psycho DOS officer versus a bumbling husband who doesn't really know his wife.
Okay, got you. Okay, that's all I had to ask.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you
BK.
so much.
Good luck with the hernia. Yep. See ya. All right. Pear Hat's here. Hi, Pear Hat.
Good. How are you, Jim? Can you hear
Great,
me?
buddy. Yeah, I got you. What's going on?
Yeah, I've been watching a show for a long time, and I couldn't really get into to the room, the waiting room.
Well, here we are.
Actually, thank you so much for your time and doing the great show. Actually, I have a case back in 2000. I came to the United States as a student, as a F1 student in 2007, and I committed a crime in 2012, which is like 11 years ago. And I convicted a crime that is considered as moral turpitude, which is sort of dangerous to society.
Sure.
So it's been more than 10 years since I was deported. It's almost 10 years. It's going to be like a couple of months. It will be.
You're about to hit your 10-year mark.
Yes, exactly. And I recently applied for a visit visa. My sister is in New York, and I wanted to visit to my sister. And the officer told me that he cannot approve my visa because of the two reasons. One is deportation. It hasn't been fully 10 years. Yeah, that's not a big deal. It's going to be a full 10 years in a couple of months. But the main reason is because of the criminal record that I had in the past, because of the moral turpitude. And he advised me to apply for a waiver sort of thing.
Those on a non-immigrant visa, that's going to be very, very hard to get approved. Probably a less than 1% chance. What was your status when you came and committed the crime? What was your immigration status at that time?
International student, F1.
Okay, and so I don't believe they're going to give you a visit visa. I don't believe they're going to give you a waiver to come see your sister.
So there is no any chance of getting U.S. visa.
I don't think so. I mean, everyone needs to understand. I say this all the time, but people don't believe me. Most visit visas are denied. So we start from the standpoint of this is probably going to get denied. When you add a crime on top of it and a deportation on top of it, they're like, no, I'm not letting this guy into the United States. That's part of my job, is keeping people who commit crimes outside the United States. I'm not doing that. And then when you talk about a crime involving moral turpitude, that even makes it even more that they want to keep you out.
Oh, okay. That's all my question. Thank you so much.
All right,
appreciate the time.
Okay, see you, bud. All right. Let's see. Kai's here. Kai, how you doing? You're on mute.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Hey, I called you like a month ago. My I-730 was pending for like 25 months, and we filed for mandamus.
Yep.
And after like 45 days, USCIS officer called my lawyer.
Yeah.
And they set up an interview for next week.
Nice.
And I have an old removal order.
Mm-hmm.
Should I be concerned regarding my old removal order?
What happened to the old removal order?
Yeah, my asylum was denied.
Yeah, but did you? How'd you get your green card if you had a removal order?
No, I did not get green card. My spouse, she filed I-730 for me.
Oh, I think you said 751. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I'm
no.
sorry.
I-730, which is like derivative.
Did my office do the lawsuit?
No, like my own lawyer.
Okay. So you have a removal order. Your spouse filed an I-730 for you.
Yes.
And you've now filed a lawsuit and got called in for an interview. And am I
Yes,
worried
after
about
like
your removal
25
order?
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about your removal order. Yes, I am.
Uh,
You're going to have to deal with that first.
Because my lawyer told me unless I-730 is not approved, we cannot do nothing. So
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. So he's thinking, your lawyer's thinking, or she's thinking that if you get the 730 approved, then you go to the immigration court, terminate proceedings.
yeah. Also, he told me like I could not understand like 100%, but he told me like during the interview date, we may vacate your removal order during that interview too. With
No, that's impossible. They can't. USCIS can't vacate a removal order. But after the I-730 is approved, then you could ask the court to vacate
Yeah,
it.
he told me like there is some kind of old rule if a person has like if my I-730 got approved, I will become asylee, right?
Yeah.
If you are asylee, there's some rule that your deportation will be vacated.
Maybe. I've never had this happen before, so I'm not saying your lawyer's wrong. I'm saying I just don't know.
Yeah, like not like normally like do like ICE officers pick up like come to office and pick up people without interview?
It's been known to happen. Why didn't you get deported?
Why? I don't know. Nobody came for me. I was like I never had any like criminal history.
Right.
I pay
So
my taxes for like 15 plus years.
Yeah.
I have
So
family, kids.
it's hard for me to give you advice beyond what I've given you, just because it's a big mess. There's a long history, and I don't want to give you bad advice other than what I already said.
Okay. Also, like for essentially I-730 is spouse. Like we need to prove that we are married, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, like I have like a birth like marriage license. Also, like 10 years of tax return, jointly tax return. Also, we got like 2 kids.
Yeah. So that's all good evidence. Yep.
And like 10, 15 pictures with family and like weddings and
Yeah, you probably want more than that.
yeah, like.
All right, Kai, I'm out of time, bud. I'm gonna go. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow at noon central for episode 340 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'll be here for a full hour again tomorrow. Day 10 of my 30-day jaunt, hopefully. Every day in Ramadan, we're going to go for it. We're getting pretty close, so we're about a third of the way done. I'll be here tomorrow at noon Central Time on YouTube and on Facebook. Have a great night, everybody.